Good day, everybody. So today's guest on the Business Spotlight is Eileen Carroll from Puka.com, P-U-C-A. You're very, very welcome, Eileen. Nice to have you.
Thanks so much, Tom. It's great to be here.
And we've got two companies to cover because there's another company called Prompt. So we'll come back to that in a moment. So tell us, what do you do at Puka and how long have you been doing it?
Well, Puka as a company, we've been around over 2 decades now, dating back to 2000. And what we do is enterprise messaging. So we work with companies like, insurance companies, banks, and so forth, delivering their text messages. Essentially, we do quite a lot else, but that's the nub of it.
Very good. So that obviously the big players in the market primarily.
Sorry.
The big players in the market primarily then would be your main customers.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, we mainly target larger organizations that would be doing text messaging on a reasonably large scale. We have some smaller clients too, and we work with a number of charities. Also, brand communications, SMS is still quite popular for things like in-store competitions and that sort of thing. But that would be a bit of a niche within what we do. Yeah.
Excellent. And on top of that, then you have this other company, Prompt, P-R-O-M-M-T. Tell us about that and how did that get started?
Well, Prompt is really exciting, actually. I'd call it the rising star of our group. So I got involved in setting up Prompt quite a while back. I had some capital to invest in IP development. So myself and Eamon Hession, my partner and husband, set about working on a platform that was initially called Smart Code, and it was all going to be about unique tokenized voucher codes for brand loyalty promotions and loyalty schemes and so forth. But that didn't go anywhere. And eventually we had some interest from AIB Merchant Services in developing for a problem they were trying to solve for customers. And so the problem really was that when doing card not present payments, it was very awkward for the customer. If they were talking to, for example, a hotel or a retailer on the phone, what was really happening back then, this is only 7 or 8 years ago, was they were giving out card details over the phone, which really isn't ideal for anyone, and nobody feels secure about that. So what Prompt is, it's tokenized payments with messaging. So I sometimes characterize it as a messaging platform with payments baked in. So it's also kind of like the HubSpot of payment communications, because we've got a lot of partners signed up, AIB Merchant Services, Fizz from WorldPay, and several others. And so it's really taken a leap forward. In 2019, we brought Donald McGuinness on board as CEO, and we rebranded the solution as Prompt. And yeah, we haven't looked back.
I think it's a fantastic name. And I saw this, wow, that's really clever, because you can sit for hours trying to come up with a brilliant name. So tell me, am I right in saying then that the major value here is to the end user? So it makes it easy for them to actually finish the damn transaction, when it's a big problem some of the time to actually finishing the transaction. So this Prompt, you can do it quickly and easily.
Yes, exactly. It makes the user experience that much better. It's a branded user experience. When you're visiting the payment page, it's actually, in most cases, on the client's website. So whether that's the hotel or the builder's merchant. So the whole experience feels very secure and native to the brand. And that's key. So
absolutely,
you can pay with just a few clicks instead of having to copy and paste an IBAN or anything like that. Another big development in the last year has been open banking, and that's been it's a very exciting space. We initially just started with card payments, but now we're doing open banking. We call it Pay by Bank, and we're integrated with a specialist called Token, and that's seeing really good uptake and customers are loving it, and it just makes it so much easier when you
Yeah, it's
give the
simple and
customer
easy to
an
use.
option
Yeah.
to pay by card or pay by bank.
Fantastic. Okay, I think your offerings are absolutely fantastic. So anybody who's interested in that, make sure you get in touch with Eileen. So Eileen, tell me, what business changes did you make or did you have to consider during COVID?
COVID was actually, well, yeah, it was a challenging time. We had to very quickly pivot to working from home, which we did, and yeah, put all the measures in place. So that was really the biggest change. We were already a very online business, so it didn't change very much in terms of how we interact with customers. The bigger change, I suppose, was fewer meetings in person and more meetings online, which really suits everyone. I think it's
Yeah,
pretty
and more
pretty
focused, I
convenient.
think, as well. Would you think?
Yeah, exactly. There's not as much faffing around or as much traveling either, so it saves time for everyone.
That's a good word, flapping. I like that.
And
So tell
other,
me, you've been in
yeah,
business a long time for yourself. So what would you say is the biggest learning you've had since you became a business owner?
that's a really good question, and I have to admit I haven't had too long to think about it. But I think as the CEO of Puka and co-founder of Prompt, what I've really noticed is that you have to kind of sit back and let people do their job, and just remember that it's not all about you. It's really just about giving the right people the right environment to do their best work. Um, I'm a bit of a control freak. I think anyone will tell you that. I'm a details person. So it's one of the most challenging things for me to actually step back when people are doing their job well and trust them and know that they're going to report back to me. But I'm just really fortunate that at Puka we have such a great team. We're a small team now. We're a micro company of under 10 staff, but they're just amazing people and they do amazing work. And with Prompt, I don't think it could possibly have taken off as it has done if myself and Eamon hadn't handed over the reins to Donal and just said, look, go for it. He had such great experience in the payment sector. Our chief commercial officer as well, Adam Paul, was there from the very early days, and he's really the product expert at this point. You know, he knows the product inside out and back to front. And we've got a great product manager as well. So,
Fantastic.
you know, it's about hiring better than you. That's I think the key point, you know,
Yeah,
making
and
sure you
isn't it
surround yourself
strange?
with good
Yeah,
people.
isn't it strange? A lot of business owners would say, she did what? She owns the business and she's somebody else running the business. Like that's nearly anathema to them. But actually, in some businesses, that's a really clever thing to do. That's
Well,
somebody
look,
who knows what to do. And you've taken that jump. And I'm sure people questioned your decision at the time, didn't they?
well, not really. I mean, for Prompt to take off, we needed outside investment.
Yes.
Elkstone Ventures came on board fairly early on. And then late last year, we had BVP come on board. So I'm only a part owner at this point. And yeah, it can be difficult to step back, but it has to be done
And then
for the
scale.
business to really thrive and
Yeah.
scale. Absolutely.
Fantastic. So tell me, what do you see as the future in your industry? I mean, you're very happy to see cashless societies, presumably, because cash is disappearing fast from everywhere. But what do you think is where do you see the business going, and what do you see as the potential major challenges you may face?
Well, business challenges. I mean, look, how long have you got? Businesses
How
are
honest is that?
challenging.
How honest? Yeah.
Um, what I think I want to focus on really in my answer is just the key developments in customer experience and how people want to transact with businesses. Everyone is so busy. Everyone has their day-to-day pressures. They've got a million things on their mind, whether it's, you know, is the puppy tearing up the furniture in the next room?
Yeah.
How am I going to oversee my kids' project? What's going on at work? What's going on with my colleagues? And all of that. So everyone has this massive cognitive load. So the onus is really on businesses to make it easy for their customers to transact with them. And whether that's sending out a text message reminder to put out your bin or a text message to remind you of an appointment, you're reminding people at the point where they need to be reminded. You're making their lives easier in some small way. And on the payment side, frictionless payments is where it's at for Prompt, and the user journey being totally seamless and totally frictionless is really what Prompt brings to the businesses that we work with and the partners that we work with. So I think that's our niche at Prompt, and that's really where we're going to continue expanding.
Fantastic. I must say, all of the things you said there, especially the UX, the user experience, is of prime importance. I think that's a great challenge, but also a great goal to achieve, making it easier for the user, because then if they like it, they keep using it. Very simple.
Well, exactly. And if it makes life easier for the business, and if they get paid faster, or, if they have fewer missed appointments or whatever their KPI might be, then it's done its job.
Excellent. So, Eileen, tell me, are there any offers you'd like us to include in the newsletter, or that you'd like to make to any potential clients out there? Is there anything you'd like to throw out to us?
Happily. If anyone would like to go to the Puka website, puka.com, puca.com, if you're interested in setting up text messaging for your business, just mention Action Coach and we'll give you a 10% discount.
Hey guys, well enough, you can't turn that down. So get in touch with Eileen. So get onto the website, puka.com. Eileen, Carroll, thank you so much. And let's not forget Prompt, Prommt. So guys, have a look at this. This could be the future of how we're all going to pay for things in the future. Eileen, thanks so much for your time
so much,
today.
Tom. Thanks a million. Great to meet you.